What's going on, guys? Dynarider here. I'm gonna go ahead and start a series here for you guys about how to ride a motorcycle. And first, on the way over to where we're gonna be doing this instructional series, that I'm gonna go ahead and start the series off with a bit of video on the gear. I know I already did a video kind of on the gear. Look at these guys, man. Not even caring. Anyway, I did a kind of a video series on gear, but I didn't provide you guys any visual aids, and that was on me. Thankfully, I went over to Clean Power Sports, and they allowed me to go ahead and grab some pictures of gear that they actually have on site there at KPS, and super helpful staff, man. Super helpful. If you're looking for any gear, bikes, doesn't matter if it's street, venture, touring, dirt bike. If you're looking for a quad, side by side, whatever else, man, Clean Power Sports has got you covered. Alright, but they allowed me to go ahead and take some pictures of some different types of gear, so I'm gonna briefly go over that while we're on our way over to our location that we're gonna be doing this video in. Alright, that's gonna be a full face helmet, seen here. Open face helmet, see in the upper right hand screen. Modular helmet, which you can go from full face to open face on. Really, guy? You clearly have a stop sign. Anyway, open face, modular, and full face helmet. Now, depending on what kind of riding you're going to be doing, it's going to be dependent on what kind of gear you get, or vice versa. What kind of gear you get is going to be dependent on what kind of riding you're going to be doing. You see a lot of guys on the sport touring bikes with the modular helmets. You see a lot of guys with like baggers, like Harley baggers, with the open face. And I'm just checking this parking lot out, guys, see if this is suitable for where I want to do these videos at. It's a bit of debris, not really level. This comes back to my top 5 videos. You guys got to have a place to practice. This parking lot's a good place to practice. You just got to find the proper spot in this parking lot. See how massive this thing is, guys? This parking lot is huge. So you got a lot of room to take your pick. But you always got to ride mindful of what's going on around you. Now, I know I'm kind of jumping around and everything right now, but there's a reason why I bring this up. You gotta ride mindful of what's going on around you. I was on my way over to the gas station where you guys came in at before I started recording. I almost T-boned a car because they pulled out right in front of me. I literally stopped 2 feet before hitting them. So that's something you gotta be mindful of. You gotta be mindful of intersections, man. And they didn't even wave at me or anything. They weren't apologetic at all. They literally pulled out and stopped right in front of me. No qualms about it. So you gotta be mindful, and one of the things I've been covering in this series is emergency braking. So stay tuned for that. This area here looks like it should be good. Alright. So, talking about gear, alright? You've got modular, full face, open face helmets. You've got a couple different categories within the open face helmet, guys. Alright. Freaking, then you got jackets, alright? You got leather and you got mesh. Mesh is good for hot weather riding. The leather doesn't bother me in the heat. I'm down here in Texas. It gets over 100 degrees down here, guys. I don't have an issue wearing the leather, because the leather, in my opinion, now this is me, in my opinion, the leather's gonna hold up to the asphalt better than the mesh. Now I got a picture of the leather, of a leather jacket, and I got a picture of a mesh jacket. I took a zoomed in picture, a close-up picture of that mesh jacket, so you can see that it's kind of perforated to let air flow through. Alright, then of course you need to get some riding pants. I'll throw in some screenshots from Suck Gear's website, some good riding pants and boots that cover the ankle, guys. So first things first, if you want to ride a bike, you got to think about, you know, what kind of bike you want to get, what kind of riding you want to do. Because different gears designed for different things. You don't want to be riding a sport bike with a cruiser jacket. Cruiser jacket's not going to come down far enough on your behind. You see my shadow here. It's not going to come. It's only going to come down to about here. Sport bike comes down a little bit further, and you can actually attach that to riding pants via a zipper. That way when you're in full tuck, you don't have to worry about your jacket riding up, and if you go down, you don't have to worry about your jacket riding up, and your back stays protected. Gloves, guys, you want full finger gloves. Protect your hands. When you go to fall down, what's your instant reaction? If you're falling down, your first reaction is to throw your hands down and try to catch yourself. That instinct's not going to be any different when you start going down off a bike. Alright? I don't care how superhero you think you are. When you go down, you're not going to think, oh, I'm going to tuck and roll. Unless you've got that training. You're not going to think to tuck and roll. You're going to throw your hands down, try to catch yourself. And the asphalt is just going to eat right through the muscle, the skin, the muscle, the tendons, clear down to the bone. And then you're going to the medical personnel are going to be digging asphalt and scrubbing asphalt out of your hands. That's highly painful. That's not something you want in your life. Alright. That's my snippet on gear. Today I'm gonna go ahead and talk to you guys a little bit about the controls on a motorcycle and get you guys going with working your clutch and your brakes and stuff like that. Just nice, easy maneuvers. Alright, super easy here, guys. Get yourself a nice clear parking lot. See, there's not a lot of debris here. Why not find yourself an open space where you guys can practice this? Okay? Alright. Yeah, go ahead, turn the bike off here. Alright. So, first things first, let's go ahead and go over some of the controls here on the bike, okay? So, over here on the right, you've got the throttle. Alright. you've got your kill switch. Alright, that's exactly what this does. This kills the engine on the bike. If you got it on off, it doesn't matter if you got the ignition on, you're not going to be able to start that bike. You got to have it in the run position to start the bike. Alright, you got your ignition, your starter button. You got blinkers. You see, it activates the blinkers, front and rear. Alright, got a blinker button over here as well. On my bike, if you hold them both down, you see you got hazards. Hold them both down again, it shuts the hazards off. Kill the bike. Alright, so over here on the left, you got a blinker, a turn signal, you've got a horn, you've got high beams, you've got low beams. Alright, now your ignition may be in a different spot. It may be down over here on the left hand side. I know Indians like to have it over there. Harleys like to have theirs kind of over here on the right hand side, kind of by the air filter. Alright, so that's the controls on the handlebar. Alright, on the right hand side you've got your front brake. This controls the brakes in the front of the bike. It does nothing for the brakes in the rear. Alright, over here on the handlebar on the left hand side you've got your clutch. Alright, this is gonna be your baby. You're gonna be doing a lot with this clutch hand. Alright, on the right hand side you've got your rear brake pedal and your right foot peg. Alright, rear brake pedal, right foot peg. On your left, you've got your left foot peg and your gear shift. Alright, so now that we've got some of the controls down, let's go ahead and work ourselves into learning how to use this clutch. Alright, so go ahead, turn your ignition on, make sure your kill switch is in the run position, and start your engines. Listen to that baby purr. Yeah. Alright, so go ahead and reach up, pull your clutch all the way in, guys. Alright, now what I'm gonna do here, I'm not even gonna give any throttle. All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna slowly let this clutch out. Alright, I'm just gonna slowly let it out, and you'll see when the bike starts giving power to that rear wheel to push me forward. Right there. See, it's pushing me forward. Pull it in, take the power away. Ease it out. Alright, engine's giving power to that rear wheel. Pull it out, take it away. Alright, so you're just going to do that a couple of times till you figure out where that friction zone on your bike is. Every bike's going to be a little bit different. Another way you can do this to practice is you can turn around, hold that front brake in with your 3 fingers, and then work your gas as well. Give yourself a little bit of gas and throttle, and you can see when your front suspension starts to collapse, that's when you're in your friction zone, instead of actually rolling forward. So you can practice that at stoplights, or if you don't have any room where you can actually roll around. So I'm gonna go ahead and roll forward here a little bit, alright? Without any throttle. I got my hand just here for stability. Not giving any gas. This is just all clutch. Alright, so for further rear stability, you can go ahead and throttle up a little bit, work that friction zone, and put a little bit of pressure on that rear brake. Alright, for these slow speed maneuvers. Alright, so that's how you're going to work this clutch, and that's going to be very important for when you start getting into some tighter maneuvers here, guys. So I don't have any cones or anything, so I'm just right around here to see if I can't find any trash. It's unlikely. Clean Mall does a pretty good job of picking up some trash, picking up its trash. Oh, we got something here. Little piece of cardboard. Put that right there. Okay, work that clutch out, pull it out. Alright. So in this video, guys, I'm also going to go ahead and talk to you a little bit about directional steering at low speed and counterweight. Alright, so at low speed you cannot use counter steering. You actually turn the handlebars in the direction that you want to go, so it's directional steering. You're turning your handlebars in the direction you want to go. Alright, so I'm gonna do my best to show you guys this. I don't have a second camera angle, but I'm just gonna super exaggerate it. So I've got my bike leaned right now, but I'm going straight because I've got pressure on this right side foot peg. I'm putting my weight on this right side foot peg. That's counter steering or counterweighting. Alright, and that's what's going to help you when you go to do your U-turns and stuff like that for your screwdriver. Don't mind if I do. Oh no, I lost my little piece of cardboard. Probably back over there when I was doing my direction or my counterweighting. Alright. So when you're counterweighting, going slower and slower and slower, the trick for doing your U-turns and whatnot is looking where you want to go. Work that clutch, work that brake, work that throttle control, modulate that clutch. There you go. Now I've just done 3 or 4 U-turns right there. So I was doing complete circles. Going in the other direction. Make sure you counterweight that other side. There it is. So it's you gotta finesse it, guys. You gotta learn that on your bike. Something you gotta learn, guys, is you're going ahead, you're working the clutch, you're working your throttle, you're working that rear brake for additional stability. Alright, so that's those items. Key tip here, guys, you gotta keep your head and eyes up and look where you want to go. If you guys noticed in those when I was doing those circles, I was looking all the way back over my shoulder like this. Alright, go ahead and work some swerving here. Alright guys, so the swerve, you guys gotta be careful when you're practicing this. I'm just gonna use the screwdriver that I found, put it out here in the middle of the road. I'm traveled down this line here. I'm gonna wait until I get to this edge of this parking spot before I go to either direction. Alright, so what I'm gonna do as I come down here, I'm gonna be traveling, right? Oh shoot, there's an obstacle. Alright, so I'm gonna press right, because I'm gonna be going fast enough. I'm gonna have to, I can't stop, so I have to swerve. So I'm pressing right to get the bike to counter steer. The bike is moving under me, I'm not leaning with it. So then the bike comes over, and I press left to get the bike to stand up because I've cleared my obstacle. Alright, and then I'm going to try to stop within this parking space. Alright, right in here. So, and then the same thing on the other side, guys. Man, it's a beautiful bike. Alright, traveling down my lane. Oh shoot. Can't see? You can't swerve with it. Bike leans, I stay put. Alright. Now as I'm stopped within the parking space that I said I was going to stop in. Let's go ahead. Cover some braking techniques here, guys. So, braking. You want to use both the front and the rear brake every time you stop. Every time. When you're doing an emergency stop, you don't want to just reach up and grab the brakes. A lot of guys say it's like you're squeezing an orange or a lemon or something. Alright? Gradual, continuous, smooth pressure. Squeeze out that sponge or the orange or whatever you're squeezing out, right? So I'm gonna come to a stop up here at this intersection. I'm gonna go to the right. Alright. So nice, smooth, continuous pressure, front and rear brakes. I check both ways and go to the right. Alright. So now emergency braking, it's the same exact thing, guys. Same exact thing as that normal stop. Only the difference is instead of going 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, when you got to do that stop, that's your percentage. You're going 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. That's how you're doing it. Alright, your front and rear brakes at the same time. 70% of your braking force is coming from your front brakes, guys. So what do you think that means? I think that means that you should be paying attention now when that weight shifts to that front wheel. Am I right? You need to be focused when that weight shifts to that front wheel, so so that you can turn around and start applying more and more braking force. Alright, I got this car behind me, guys, here, so alright, so normal stop, clutch in, make sure I'm in first gear, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Nobody coming in. Look where I want to go, ahead and eyes up. Pay attention to what's going on around me. Alright, so I was going to do this in kind of a playlist series, guys. I just kind of covering this all in one video series, in one video though, so what to do. I may do a more in-depth video on each of these topics later down the road. I don't want to be leaving stuff in this parking lot. The thing about being a motorcycle rider, guys, is no matter what you do, what kind of motorcycle you ride, whatever else, there's gonna be a community based around that. People that will look out for you, people that will help you out, just because you share an interest in motorcycling. And that's something worth participating in. I've met a lot of friends, a whole lot of friends, because of motorcycling. I've also lost a few people out of my life because of motorcycling. And that's part of the reason why I'm starting this channel. It's because I want to bring that awareness about for those motorcyclists. I had there was a motorcyclist this past weekend. He passed away in a motorcycle accident, riding in a group. And this is one of those rare occurrences in the motorcycle community, guys. Now granted, guys that he's riding with, they have about 1,000 people furious with him. Be right back, guys. I gotta go in here and get something. So the guys that he was riding with have about 1,000 people absolutely furious with him, because when this rider went down, the guys that he was riding with didn't even bother to stop. And that is not very common in the motorcycle community. But that just goes to show you that you'll make some acquaintances participating in motorcycling, but you gotta watch who you ride with. Make sure you know them, know the route, know where you're going. If you're leading a group, make sure you have a head count. Because end of the day, that guy died side of the road, left for dead by the guys he thought was his friends. He trusted them to make sure, you know, if the group got separated, he trusted them to make sure that they got home, you know, that everybody was alright. And those guys failed him. actually put together a memorial ride for this guy. I only have about a week to plan it. I'm not going to be able to participate, but I'm going to try to put together a memorial ride for this guy. And there's going to be an opportunity to donate to this guy's family during their time of need. That sounds like something you'd be interested in, by all means, let me know in the comments below, and I'll make sure that that information gets out. Gonna see what I can do about getting some help from some of the other YouTubers on this, because we just had somebody that shared our love of bikes, that was so full of life, get deserted by the guys he thought was his friends. Alright. Now, my top 5 video, I said you guys gotta get some training, right? Brought you guys over here to Horny Toad Harley Davidson, and if you look, they actually have an MSF basic riders course going on out here today. Now they'll put you through a series of exercises. Right now you got one of the rider coaches out there demonstrating right now, so they'll set up the course, they'll demonstrate the course, they'll explain it to you, and then you go and do it yourself. They provide these little Harley Davidson Street 500s here at Horny Toad Harley Davidson for their course. Look, it goes outside, inside, outside, outside, inside, outside, around the course, comes around, outside, inside, outside, outside, inside, outside, and stops. Nope. Looks where he wants to go. He's looking all the way through the turn. Watch his head and eyes, guys. Alright, he looks through the turn. Looks where he wants to go. And that's that, guys. Look at all these beautiful bikes. Dynarider out.